dialogue. We gon' tell the truth, we ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are, do we bow? No. Not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall underground. Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth, we ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are, do we bow? No. Not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deprogram the old you, and you get to keep your soul.
What's going on, man? It's your big brother K Reno
and your boy Keith Stowe.
Y'all are tuned in to another episode of the Underground Dialogue Podcast, where the name speaks for itself. Yeah. Man, we are honored tonight, man, because we have an individual sitting in the middle tonight that we already talk about rap legends, but it's multiple legends in this city in multiple fields that all contributed to the rise of hip hop in this city and in this region. This man sitting in between us, man, he's one of the iconic DJs to come out of this city, but more so than that, he's one of the catalysts for a lot of people's careers from that standpoint of having the record pool of America and helping guys get connected and networking with labels and other artists. And he laid the foundation in this city, in these clubs, being a historian in this game. None other than the one and only Mr. Steve Fournier, man.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
Glad to be here, man.
Man, we glad to have you.
Glad to be here. You legends, man. Y'all are legends.
Oh, man. Look.
To be the independent king of rap, man.
Well, the truth is, a lot of us who did the independent thing, we wouldn't have been able to do it if it wasn't for people like you, who we could walk inside of a nightclub with our vinyl and say, "How you doing, Mr. Steve Fournier? My name is blah, blah, blah. Could you play this record?" And Keystone, word is bond. He is one of the few guys, a lot of guys were rooted in that back in the day where you could just walk up to him and give him a shot. But some guys, truthfully, just were like, "I'm not gonna play your record if I don't know you, because my dance floor is sacred.
It's like
if I play this trash, if I play this in this trash and it clear my dance floor, because you play a record and your floor is popping, if it's trash, people gonna be looking back at me like, what's up?" So to tell the story before we get going, I was in a group called COD, me and Obi at the time.
Okay.
And we had a record called Full of Them Games, and we walked it into the midnight hour. You DJ at the midnight hour.
Oh, man.
And gave Steve the record. And Steve played the record on
Without
the spot.
hearing it?
Without hearing it. Okay. And dance floor, midnight hour was popping right there on OST and Scott.
Okay.
And the first time he played it, the response was like, a few people walked off the floor. Now, as an artist, I don't care how many people you performed in front of, thousands, hundreds, you ain't never more nervous than when you in a helpless position where they're getting ready to play your record and you can't control what's going to be. And I stood by the DJ booth, Steve, mixed it in, and the response was, and I was like, man, like crushed. But guess what he did? The next week he played it again.
Okay.
Played it again. And I'm like, he played it again. The next week he played it again.
So he broke it.
But the response, he programmed it. A good DJ, if he feels like a record is good, he not gonna give up on it. So I don't know if you remember all that, but by the fourth or fifth time he played it, the dance floor wasn't affected. It stayed like it was. Everybody was still into it. What went into your thought process as a DJ to determine whether you're gonna give a record a chance like that?
My thought process of playing any record, but especially for a Houston rap artist, because I was so impassioned with rap and making rap from nothing in Houston to something. And when a rap artist came in, a local rap artist, I was gonna play the record. And period. And what gets me about the young DJs that are out there that are watching this, I hope they get this. and that is there is no Bible in how to be a DJ.
Yeah.
There is no written in stone how many times you have to play a song.
Yeah.
Because there's been many times where the floor was packed, and an artist like yourself would come in, and I'm gonna play the record.
Yeah.
Because it was in me to get more local rap out.
Right.
So I was gonna give it a shot. Period. I didn't even have to listen to it. If you had the wherewithal to come up with a vinyl, to spend the money to get a vinyl pressed, that was something to me.
Yeah.
And I was gonna play it, but I would often, if the floor was packed and they were just jamming off some song that was just hot at the time, it was nothing for me to say, wait a minute, stop the music, pick up the needle, and start it from the very beginning again and let it go another 10 minutes. Because there's no rules to this game.
That's like falling into the vibe.
Falling into the club owners want you there. If it was a small club especially, but thank God I was blessed. I usually had pretty big clubs that I was playing at. But if it was a small club, he wanted to make liquor sales.
Yeah, right.
Well, the only way you get people to drink is you make them dance their ass off and they sweat like crazy and they have to go buy a drink.
Right. There you go.
So I would sweat them out and they would go to the bar and buy a drink.
Yeah.
And here's another thing that was so instrumental in that. Charles Bush, the club owner and legendary in Houston, and Ray Barnett, they taught me the club business.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew the rap business, and responsible for bringing rap to Houston. I understand all that, and they understood that.
Yeah.
But they mostly had older set clubs. Well, to go off the subject a little bit, but to go backtell it after that, is that they would come by a big club, like say the Rhinestone Wrangler, by the Astrodome.
Okay.
The first one.
Yeah, man.
The one where I was able to play 100% rap every single night. By that time, there was enough rap that I could play it by 90, 85, 86, that I could play it all night long. And I was eating it up because anybody that knew me knew that rap was my calling. This is what I was going to do for 26, 27 years of my life. This is what I was going to do. And so they would come by, Ray Barnett and Charles Bush would drive by the Rhinestone Wrangler and see 1,700 people a night.
Wow.
The parking lot all up and down to Smurworth, and it's just everywhere packed. And they would go, as businessmen, they would go, how do we get that? How do we get that? And they would come tap me on the shoulder and go, hey, what night you ain't working? And I said, well, and they give me a club. This is going to bring back memories to you. There was a club on right across from Palm Center called Club 808.
That's right.
And Xfinity.
Yeah, it was Infinity 808. I don't remember which came first, but it was Infinity at the same spot. Yeah.
Same spot.
Yeah.
This is the club that Charles Bush said, Steve, I'm going to give you this club.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do. Just make me the money that you making these other people over there. And I said, well, I can only do it a couple days a week. I'm already obligated to this other spot. And he said, okay, all right, well, fine. And all the other club owners, because you remember all the clubs were off OST. All Charles Bush's clubs were, and he had Club Pizzazz and Club this and that. And they were all very adult clubs. You had to be 21 to get in, absolutely. Maybe 25. You had to dress a certain way. And then here come my ass on the radio. And I'd say, come any way you want. Come in your birthday suit. Wear 5 hats. Wear your shorts. Wear your sandals.
Flip flop. Yeah.
Just come.
Gave us a lane. Like, okay, I can come on.
Just come, right?
Yeah.
And so the very first couple of weekends, every Monday he'd have his club managers meeting. In right there, his office was right there next to Club 808. Yeah. That was Charles Bush's enterprise. That was his office.
Yeah, he had all that.
And he had it so lit that he could drive his car into the office.
Right.
And it was parked right next to his desk.
Right.
He had it going on, and probably still to this day does. And he had the meeting, and he told all his managers. He said, okay, well, because Monday was, in the club business, Monday was when everybody sat down, they brought all their money to the table.
Yeah.
And the money went to Charles. Right. Charles did what he needed to do with it. And all the managers brought their money in. You know.
Wow.
Oh, that's what you made all weekend. Wait a minute. He reached down next to him and pulled out a big old Kroger bag and dumped the money in the middle of the table. He goes, that's what this man made me in one night. In one night.
Wow.
And it was rap. It was rap that made him the music. That made him the money, because that's what brought the people. And anywhere I went, it brought the people. So when local artists, to go back, when local artists would bring me something, I could not wait to play it and expose it and stop the music and say K Reno's in the house, or stop the music and Murder One's in the house, and stop the music and Point Blank is in the house, and South Park Coalition and everybody, and it was great for me to do that. I love to do that.
And I think that presentation is what, because people trust the DJ when it's a good DJ, because he the guy that got us out here rocking and jamming and keeping us happy and consistent. So when you lend that credibility to a guy, say, hey man, stop the music, this guy, it brings the credibility to us that we ain't have at the time. Like I said, we just get in and stand together. Right. We had some little hood fame, but Steve's first person to play one of my records in the club. I can't think of a time where, the first time, and I told you, I was like this, I'm standing by the DJ booth like, palms sweaty, like I might have been looking cool, but in my mind, I know what's going to happen if this song plays and the response is not right. So, he stuck with it. Because the response wasn't good, and some DJs like, ooh, let me mix that out and play this Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying? But I always appreciated that, man. Let me ask you about the record pool. See, because back in the days, this is what I used to see back in the days before I even knew you. I would buy a Public Enemy record. I would buy a Run DMC record. I would buy a Big Daddy Kane record. And on the back of these records, I would always see this name in the special thanks on the record. Steve Fournier. Like, Steve Fournier, see, this man's name is on all of the big name guys' records. And I never understood why until once I got to know who Steve was and knew he had the record pool. But that was my thing, to be able to make a record one day and put Steve Fournier's name on the back of the record.
I appreciate that.
Tell me about the record pool and how.
At first, what it is.
What a record pool is there's always been record pools way back when there was disco. There was record pools. What a record pool is all the record companies get together and they send one person their new music. One guy in the city. Houston, Dallas, Chicago, LA, New York. They would send him the new product.
Okay.
His job was to pull all the music together and find the DJs in that city to give them the music to go play in their club or to play on their radio station. And what happened was the first, and I said this at the anniversary, the 50th anniversary, the first rap record I ever played in Houston, Texas, anywhere across the speaker. The first rap record was T-Ski, Catch a Beat. That was the first record ever heard.
Right.
I played it because I got hooked up because all of the record people, I was working at a club called Struts. It was the biggest black club in the city.
Yeah.
It was massive at the time. Charles Busch, Ray Barnett had clubs, and they held 500 or 600 people.
Right.
They did fantastic. But I was on the north side at 525 Bender and 45 in the corner. There was a club. It was called Struts, and we were holding 1,300 people in the club every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night.
Right.
And all these record labels would come through the club to push their funk. It was funk at the time.
I got you.
And R&B, funk and R&B.
Right.
And that's what they were pushing. Right. And they knew they had to get it to me because I had the biggest club to play for the people. Right. Well, a few of them started telling me, say, hey, you heard this thing called rap? Yeah, I heard about it. And they go, well, we're going to hook you up. They hooked me up with DJ Red Alert in New York.
Okay.
And I talked to him on the phone, and we started communicating. And he sent me a package, a little care package.
Right.
3 records.
Okay.
T-Ski, Rapper's Delight, and Spoonie G.
Oh man.
And they all were out about the same time.
Yeah.
One of them was a test press, the other one was just fairly out, and it was my choice.
Right.
You know, to which one I was going to play.
Right.
And when I played T-Ski Catch a Beat and went home that night and remembered the reaction of the people and the feeling that I got from those people, that I must have played that record 3 or 4 times that night.
Right.
I was gonna ask you, when did you fall in love with hip hop? Was that the day?
That was the day.
Yeah, okay.
That was the day. Like my son's gonna love this, and my wife's gonna love this. My guy for the last 2 or 3 years has been Coach Prime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Prime time.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
And he had his calling. His calling was to go to Jackson State.
Right.
His calling was to go to Colorado and take the next step. When I heard that record, that was my calling.
Right.
I was going to do this for the next years and years and decades. I was going to do this. And so, after doing that and playing that rap record, then all of a sudden, about a year went by, and we brought Curtis Blow to the club, the first artist ever to play in the city of Houston.
Wow.
Ever in Texas, in the South, a rap artist actually on stage. We brought him in. Curtis Blow and the Breaks, Christmas Rapid.
Yeah.
And I said this at the anniversary as well, is that's when all the DJs in the city that thought they were DJs, when they heard that Curtis Blow was coming to Struts, they came. And when his DJ had the 2 turntables in the middle of the stage, and he started scratching, and then they rushed the stage, and their mouths and jaws just dropped because they only heard of scratching. They didn't even know how to do it.
Wow.
They didn't even know how to do it. They just seen it. And so as time went on, I got more people in New York, in LA, were like, we need to fly him up here.
Yeah.
We need to find out what he's doing in Houston, why our music is selling so much there, what's going on, you know? And so I got a chance to meet a lot of record people and a lot of artists, and Run and LL and Eric B and Rakim and everybody. I just got to meet a lot of people. And obviously, people always ask me, why did you never have a DJ name? I didn't need one.
Yeah, you know, man, that's crazy. You know what?
What's your name?
I never thought about it. It was never DJ Steve Fournier in the mix. It was just Steve Fournier.
And the reason why It's very simple. Because I'm the only white guy in the whole
in the game.
They just knew.
Yeah.
They just knew.
Man, I ain't never think
go to Houston and just ask for Steve Fournier.
Yeah.
And you're gonna find him. And you're gonna find him. So I got to meet all those people, and by meeting all those people, I met a gentleman named Bill Steffen. He worked for Def Jam Records. And Bill Steffen said, Steve, you need to start a rap record pool.
Yeah.
Not for R&B or disco or whatever, just for rap.
Right.
I'm gonna, don't worry. And I went to New Music Seminar. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah, I remember.
And I would go to New Music Seminar every year. Every year in New York, they'd have New Music Seminar with new music.
Right.
They would have the DJ Battle Supreme and the Rap Battle Supreme.
Right.
And I got to sit on stage and judge some of that stuff. And it just brought so much energy to my mind to bring back to Houston and to do the rap battle at the Rhinestone and to do the rank contest. It brought so much energy, and I learned so much to bring to here to get us up to par, to battle each other, to get better at rappers as a thing. So all the rap labels from everywhere start sending me product. And when I first started out, I had like 30 DJs, right? But those 30 DJs, once or sometimes twice a month, I think it was like twice a month, they would get 20 to 25 records, brand new, 12-inch records for free.
Right.
Okay.
Well, not for free. Let me change that. I charged them free. I charged them like $30.
Right.
You know, but all that was for my space, space with all the bends I had, and I had to, when I first did it, stuff all those records and all those bends to make sure everybody got one. You know, and it grew from 30 to 40 to 50 to when I ended it, I ended up with 190 DJs throughout the world, throughout the country. So. Piggyback to go back. To go back, why was my name on so many records? Is because they knew that my DJs were in the clubs playing their rap when the radio wouldn't play it, and the radio wouldn't play it, and the only avenue they had was the clubs, and
you the avenue to get there.
I was the avenue to get there. So God put me in that position to where it was with rap. It's what I wanted to do, and I ate it up. I ate it up and tried to get Houston. It was a big battle. It was a big battle. It wasn't. It sounds easy, but
from that rap pool, that you had created with the rap one that you started, can you tell the story how that then started? You was able to help the Box, which is Houston's like one of the main premier stations that plays rap.
Yeah, this is. I got that set straight at the anniversary, at that night, at the 50th anniversary, because no one ever heard the story. But I'm going to tell you again, because you asked. I'm going to get to how it really happened.
Okay.
How it happened was, Jammin' Jimmy Olsen was at a station, KHYS, KISS, I believe it was, and he called me, and he goes, Steve, the Box, or 97.9, it wasn't the Box, 97.9.
What were they playing before they played rap?
They were a very few selected rap songs and mostly just R&B.
Yeah, that's how it was. Got a couple of rap records.
And it'd be at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning or something. And he'd say, look, they're going to flip the station to rap. But they need to do it within the next 48 hours. And I need a big favor. And I said, what do you need? He goes, they have no rap.
Yeah. Right.
They have no rap. And I said, well, of course, I have the Rap Pool of America. So I have all the latest rap and all the newest rap coming out and test press and everything. I have it. And he goes, well, man, could you bring us the music?
Yeah.
And so I said, all right. And the reason why I said all right was the fact that I said, finally, there'll be rap played in Houston, Texas on a more regular basis. There'll be more mix shows. There'll be more mixed DJs be able to get on there. More local artists can get in the mix.
Yeah, there we go.
That can be negotiated with the rap that's being played. And so I was like, I'm doing this for the bigger purpose, the bigger reason. I seen the big picture. And I said, yeah, okay, I will. And I boxed up like 3 big boxes. I had to put on a dolly and brought them up to the radio station.
Brought the box to the box.
I brought the boxes to the box and brought it to the music director. At the time, I forgot who it was, and Jimmy.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Olsen and the music director carted all that rap up overnight. And there was hundreds of them. And so the DJs could come on the air the next day and play rap. And that's how the box got started.
Wow.
That's the actual how it got started.
Wow.
Now, it's obviously a multi-million-dollar corporation owned by a big conglomerate. And, but yeah, I definitely played a big role in making sure that the rap was brought there to the station. And there's many things that the box did along the years that I didn't agree with.
Still don't agree.
But I did what I did at the time because I seen the bigger picture, and I was right because the rap with the radio just happened to explode, and because yes, there was Lester Surpace and everybody at KTSU, and they were my first. That was my first saving grace. That was my first help from the club business, from the club playing the music at the club. And finally having a radio station that played a little bit. It was just such huge. Lester knows, I tell him all the time, what a big step that was. But then from that step, to go from that step to the box step was just a whole nother deal. And then it brought so many DJs in, and brought Walter D and all the DJs in, the mix shows in, and they were able to sneak in local artist stuff in the mix because the program director would be asleep at 1 o'clock in the morning, and they'd be throwing it in there, and that was awesome. I just thought it was the great, whatever advanced rap I was down with. And
it looks like you helped to build that camaraderie that Houston is well known for. Like a lot of times, really you could say Texas. A lot of times artists in Texas, they say, we don't really need to go nowhere besides Texas because Texas is going to support us. Texas, all local artists in that time, we supported. I know personally, I didn't buy nothing but Houston music. That's it. Except for like Ice Cube or something to that extent. But my CD collection was nothing but Houston artists. And most of my friends were the same. And it seems like you sort of constructed that idea, like when you get the pool and you'll pass it over to different DJs, giving us as a teamwork kind of thing. Sort of laying those bricks out to build up that culture that we support our own. And that's commendable.
No, that was a big thing for me to get as much rap as I could get played anywhere across the South, not just Texas, Louisiana, everywhere. And matter of fact, I remember times that I would go to Louisiana, and I have people that live in Louisiana, and I would go back and forth, and I would go to the smallest towns, the smallest little towns, like a place in Louisiana called Manzura or Cottonport, Louisiana. And I would just bring a handful of rap records, just a handful.
Yeah.
And they would have the best time in a little old hole in the wall club that they had all year long.
Right.
Because they just were so hungry. Everybody was so hungry for rap outside the big cities.
Yeah.
When they would come to Houston, when their cousins was like come to Houston, all they wanted to do was go wherever my big mouth was yelling about, whether it was the Rhinestone Wrangler or the Underground or
they knew,
or the North Side or Bone Shakers or whatever.
Bone Shakers.
You rallied them up. You rallied them up.
Give me flashbacks.
And those places, and they would come in, and they would come into town, and what was so funny was that the Bone Shakers was probably I have to go out and say it was probably the biggest club that I ever had.
Yeah.
Because there was Easter Sundays and weekends where we'd have 2,400 people in this place.
What was the capacity at the Rhinestone?
The Rhinestone by the Astrodome was about 1,600. Okay. The Rhinestone on the north side was about 2,000.
Yeah.
But the Bone Shakers
got that.
Yeah. That was the one that was right off of Parker and I-45 on the right.
Got it.
And how we got that was that after Struts, after 2 or 3 years, like all clubs, most clubs last a year and a half.
Yeah.
So we were way past our due. We were like 2.5 years in. The man that owned Bone Shakers used to drive by Struts on his way home.
Yeah.
After he left his place, he had to drive by.
Yeah.
And he'd go, damn it. They're killing me. You know? And so he stopped, he found out who I was.
Yeah. Okay.
And he called me and he goes, look, I got this big country and western club. I ain't making it.
Wow.
And he was from Louisiana. He lived in Alexandria. And he said, and he used to come in every weekend for his big club in Houston.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm not making it. I want you to do what you're doing there.
Oh yeah.
Over here.
Same story with Charles Bush and all that.
I want to do the same thing here.
Yeah.
And so, this is what most people don't know about me, is that when I first started DJing, I made $40 a night and 2 drink tickets.
Ooh.
That's what I made.
Damn.
All right. So then I went to Struts, and my salary raised a little bit. But then I started learning the game.
Yeah.
And so when this man approached me with Bone Shakers,
You was ready.
I said, no.
I get a percentage.
I'm gonna get this,
Right.
and I don't drink. I don't do alcohol, so I don't drink. So I didn't need no drink tickets,
Right.
and I just usually gave to whoever was in line, right. And so things start to look up, and that club was so big that people would come in and they go, I want to go to Bone Shakers. I want to go to Bone Shakers. So I'm going to come to Houston. I want to go to Bone Shakers. And I'd be jamming all night long. By then, in Bone Shakers, I was able to get away with there was enough rap out there that I could play about 50% rap and 50% R&B-ish stuff. There was about 50% rap out there.
Yeah.
So at the end of the night, the lights would come on.
Right.
It never failed. 2 or 3 people will come to DJ booth and go, you white?
What you doing jamming like that?
Look, the whole night he down there.
They go, and so
Movie Creole.
Another reason why I never had to get a DJ name.
Yeah.
They just knew that white guy could jam. That was it.
That's the name.
And that was it. And so from the Bone Shakers turned into, he opened the Bone Shakers in Alexandria.
Oh.
All right? And this one in Houston was still doing fine. And he'd ship us to Alexandria every couple of weeks. And I say, we were throwing it down there because it was right by there was a military base by Alexandria. There was in Shreveport. There was a fort something, I don't forget what it was. But it was full too.
Okay.
But he started to lose his interest in the Houston because he had this home thing now going, doing good, real good for him. So about that time, Big Steve hooked up with me and said, hey, look. Rest in peace, Big Steve.
Yeah, no question.
And he said, Steve, got this deal. I got this guy by the Astrodome. And he's gonna let you play all the rap you possibly can find. Every night. No holds barred.
Okay.
Anything you want. The club's nice club. Already got one DJ. This is Big Steve talking. This is Big Steve, the hustler. He told me, he said, man, I already got one DJ, and I already talked to him about it. And his name is RP Cola.
P. Cola.
He said, look, I got RP over here, and you bring your rap business and your rap music over here. Y'all make a great team. And we did. We got along great. We got along great for years. And then that's when we got the Rhinestone. And that's when I was able to play 100% rap all the time, every night.
Now, he never said something about this Rhinestone.
Man, you know, that's my era, man. I never knew that. I guess it makes sense. It was a country western club. Let me ask you, because you said something a minute ago. You talked about how a great point about how the average club, they only get like a good year or so running.
Right.
No matter how popping the club is, why you think that club's burnt out like that? It's like the club will be getting down, and then all of a sudden, well, man, they closed down.
I thought that shot.
The big reason for that is that people always want something new. They always want the newest thing. They get tired of the same old. The girls get tired of the same old players, and the guys get tired of the same old girls and the same old hoes. They just get tired of it. They want something different. I'm here to bust the biggest secret in the world.
Change the name.
All we did was go down the street and open the club. And just magically, the night we had the grand opening of that new club, the old one had a sewer problem. The door was shut. But when they were coming to the new club, it was the same DJ, same bartenders, same waitresses, but it was new for a year or so. And so we just played the role. We just
rebranded
and moved down the street. And it was always that. It was always that Captain Jack was on one side of town and I was on the other side of town. Only because we both loved each other. To this day, we still talk. And it's the fact that one side of town could not support both of us. We could not have both of us on one side of town because there wasn't enough people to go around. But if I had the north side, he was on the south side. I could have 1,800 people. He could have 1,300 people. We could have it going on, and we did. And when I was off, I would go hang out and sit right next to Jack and just watch him work all night. And when he was off, he'd come sit and do the same thing because there was no animosity. He was learning from me, and I was learning from him.
Like I respect each other's craft.
And what they all knew about me, and I knew I got on their last nerve, was, oh, here comes the rap man. Here comes the rap man. And I was always just rap, more rap, and but we all, and a person that I didn't get to mention the other night was one of my favorite DJs in the city besides the guys that work with Jack and R.P. Cola and Clarence Batiste and those guys, to this day, is DJ Chill.
Oh yeah, Chill. What's up, Chill?
Chill.
Yeah.
DJ Chill is if I had this, how much confidence I have in that young man when I used to go to Boomerang and hang around, and I would bring a couple concerts there or something, and I was involved with bringing concerts there, and watch him work. Is that he's a young kid that had learned, hopefully from Jack and myself and the other guys, that there was no way to DJ written in stone. You could do whatever you wanted to do. Right. You could play a song as many times as you want to a night. It didn't make a difference. As long as the floor was full and people were getting thirsty and drinking, and that was great. If I had a club today, the first person I would call to DJ would be DJ Chill.
Wow.
I would say, it's yours. And my brain would be off worried about the music. I would not have to worry about the music. Right. I would just have to worry about the business part of it. And I wouldn't have to worry because he just got it. He got it. And there's so many DJs that didn't get it. That they would play, no, I played that song once tonight. Can't play it again. What do you mean? Why can't you play it?
It's midnight now.
Why can't you play it again? Why? Who says you can't play it again? There's no DJ God gonna come get you if you don't play it again.
And the radio do it. The radio plays all the time. 8:30 you hear it.
And that's a whole nother subject. That's when I got, with all my travels up to New York and back and forth and meeting people and working with different record labels and record companies, I really got a chance to learn. And I worked for Def Jam for a year. Worked for Russell and Leo Chrome for a year. And I learned everything I could learn. And then after I did my year, I said,
I'm good.
I'm good. Because I learned so much brought back to Houston and helping the local rap labels out and what they were doing. What they were doing was, the best way to describe it is, what we were doing was we were learning. We were just kids. Jay and everybody, Lil J and we were just learning the business. Jay had to hustle. I out hustled them. There's no doubt. But learning the business and the way they did their business.
Because Jay said he did the same thing. He went out there and learned it from out there, from Russell, and said the same exact thing. So talk more about it. About the process.
And the process is it's scary in a way, because there was a day and time when there was just radio stations across the country, and maybe one company had owned 2 or 3 radio stations. You know, that's it, 2 or 3 radio stations. And if you wanted your record played, you could go to, say it was one big station, 100-watt station, but it was owned by one person, right? One guy. You could go and be very persuasive.
Let's get it.
To the program director.
Right.
And lo and behold,
You're
in rotation.
You're in rotation. Let's take that.
and your record be in rotation. As the years went on, the corporations that are out there now have gobbled up 20 stations. Right. Now, the problem I have with that is this, and I had a problem with this years ago, and I still have a problem with it to this day, is that how could you have a program director ahead of all 20 radio stations live in Montana making the decision for what Houston people like?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
You know, and
come on, man.
And they do it like that, and they got it set up like that because why? Because now it's all about money. It's a business. First of all, it's a business. We know it's a business, but they do it, and now they only got paid as one guy ahead of 20 program directors, the big money. And they paid the other guys littler money because you're just doing what we tell you to do. You're not really doing anything but doing what we tell you to play.
Yeah.
And what determines what gets played by this man here? Well, the man up there, as in charge of all those 20 stations, well, the record label might just, hey, might buy, a couple $1 million worth of ads for Burger King or something, and it just goes down, it goes down the trail. And
let me ask you this on that subject, because I was thinking when you were saying that. So do you think that had a role? Because I know that every region, every city has an identity. Houston had an identity. Louisiana had an identity and style. With ownership being held by one power, and like you say, that they under this umbrella and everything gets this is the playlist, because you could go to Dallas and hear the same song that you hear on the radio on the station, but it takes away the identity, in my opinion, because now we can't hear his record and what the pulse of the city really represents.
No, and that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah,
it's exactly what's happened is because you could not hear your K Renos, you could not hear your Slim Thugs, you could not hear those guys. You could not hear them in any other. You had to wait for the mix shows to come out in Houston and get played that way. And so today is still that way.
Yeah, right.
But the difference that exploded, that changed the whole course of everything, was social media and the internet.
I was just about to say it, 'cause
that changed everything with great. I would hope it would be great for people like yourself that were independent. That could say, hey, look, I get on social media and I get enough hits from that. Well, that'll take care of paying my people and paying for more produce more stuff and make a living, because we're all in this to do what we love, but it's a business to make money. I'm not downing anybody for their hustle. What I do get a little beside myself on is when I hear a rapper go, yeah, I've been rapping for 20 years. And he's 20 years old.
You ain't been able to talk. You ain't know how to talk for 20 years.
And then, but I'm the best rapper ever. And ba 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 ba. And all this. What I more appreciate is someone that gets on social media or on the airwaves and says, look, I didn't know I wanted to be a rapper. I made a song. It was a hit. I'm going to ride this thing till it rides out. And I'm gone. I love it. I love it. I respect the honesty. That's all you're in it for. You're in it for the hustle to make the one record, make you some money, and support your family, and change generational wealth.
And be all
go for it.
Be all gold every day.
But no,
I ain't hear what you said. What you
I
said?
said be all gold every day.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off the.
No. Everything we're saying is on the subject. Everything we say is on point. I was thinking about it from another angle too, because like people, you always heard for years, you hear about payola in radio. You even hear payola in the club. I may have been known to slip a guy $100 or $2 or to get a song played here and there, but I mean on certain levels, I don't knock that but you can't compete with the big boys who, like you said, gonna funnel in millions to a station, to Clear Channel or Radio 1, and you don't have a chance because local music used to have a place in Houston at one time. Now, I don't listen to the radio no more, but I don't know if it's if local rappers even get played anymore.
I don't know either, because everywhere you go, it's the same playlist. It's sort of like, that's when I was saying about the internet. It's sort of the same way when it comes to new languages and slang and stuff now. It's all one.
Right.
Everybody talks the same.
Yeah, right.
The last explosion of rap and hip hop was with all of the Slim Thug and Pow Wow and all
1,000%. Mike Jones and all
them, right. Zero and all. They took advantage of that social media, and they did well for themselves, which I applaud them for. They took advantage of it, but there's this new cycle now that, like you said, it's what is it? What is it? And the rappers, I'm sorry, they don't sound like K Reno. They don't sound like Brad. They don't sound like Slim Thug. Their voices all sound the
auto-tune.
You can say it.
They all sound sound basically the same. And I rather, like I said, when I went to New York and I met with Russell Simmons and Leora Cohen, and they asked me, they said,
Steve, what would you like?
What are y'all doing in your music? How do we make music like y'all make it?
Okay.
Because we want their business. Right. They want to sell that product. They want to. And I go, what? They really asked me how? What? Our sound here is slower. Our cadence is different. It's Southern style.
Southern drawl.
And you can actually, when you hear a man rap, you know it's a man that's rapping.
Well, they say our music is for riding. Because down south, everybody has a car. East Coast, they taking the train. They ain't really just in the car.
They ain't got no. They don't have no
that's why I say the identities have been like y'all say, they've really been meshed into one, because it's like we could separate the regions, and I looked at that as a good thing, because I might not even want to hear Houston rap all day. I might want to take a break and listen to some West Coast, but like Steve said, I don't want my West Coast rap to sound like Atlanta. I don't want my East Coast rap to sound. I want to have a distinction.
And Houston, for a long time we had that distinction, and hopefully it's not lost. And you know, there's good things that people like yourself and that are independent can go out and still produce something that says, hey, damn it, I want to hear some K Reno. Where can I get some K Reno? Where can I get some Scarface? One of my favorite songs that Brad does is called The Wall. The Wall. When I'm in a certain mood, I want to hear that song because it gets me where I need to go. And that's what music is supposed to do. It's supposed to enlighten you. And I like all music that I know comes from the heart. I like gospel. I like country. I like anything that I know comes from someone's heart. I love it. I love it. And so it's just so having that rap was my favorite thing.
What do you think about the technology right around now when it comes to making like rap something that everybody can sort of do? They got AIs. You might can't get K Reno, but I can get AI and get J Reno.
You know what? I'm like K Reno. I have to admit, I don't even hardly listen to the radio station no more. But, you know, I'm so. I guess I'm just so old and stuck in my ways that I just know what I want to hear, and I'll just go right to my phone, and so it'll come through my car, listen to the radio, and I say I want boom, and I'll be just driving down the road and have a memory from 30 years ago, and go, I want to hear boom. And it comes out in the car, and it brings me right back
time
to
machine.
And it brings me right. Timeless, and but I have really nothing to say to the new rappers of the new industry, the rap industry of today.
You ever tried to rap?
Never. I can't. There's two things I can't do, and that's rap or dance. I can't do either one. Now, me and my wife will dance to a slow song. But that's about it. I don't rap. Never have. Never tried.
There you go.
The great Steve Fournier is with us, man.
Jules.
No question about it, man. One of the things I wanted to ask you about is if you, I guess you kind of answered the question. I was going to ask you if the Record Pool of America was started in 2024, how would it be? I mean, I don't even know.
It wouldn't even exist.
Yeah.
Because
well, I guess it's no physical.
Because there's no physical 12-inch records no more, right? Or vinyl no more to make it happen. And then people try to do it with CDs, but that didn't really work. And so it wouldn't make it no more. And because remember, there was, when I started this, and when the first rap record that I played in Houston was in 1979, and there was no record stores knew what rap was. No radio stations knew what rap was. No one knew what rap was. I was just lucky enough to only be about 7 or 8 months behind New York, where it was started, and getting hooked up with DJ Red Alert, and was able to just jump ahead of the game and grab onto it. And this what God must have wanted me to do. This is what He wanted me to do, and to bring it up and make it grow and grow, and till the internet came around, and that kind of the vinyl was kind of.
See, we had Watts here, and we were just joking around. We were talking about how back in the days the DJ had to load his records up in the crates, and it was like work just to get your music to get set up. Right. So I know those days, man. Like, just I would watch y'all while one song is rocking. This the club. This everybody out there at the turntable. The DJ got his back. He digging through there looking for the next one. Yeah. What was your feel to know what record to play next?
The way to do it, the way I did it, was that all music is beats per minute. All music has a beat per minute. And after as long as you learned that, you would start at 100 beats per minute. And then you go to 102, 104, 108. Then you get them up to about 140 when Luke when Luke would come out and pop. Because you would do that, you would work the crowd up there because the girls were waiting on that song. The girls wanted to dance to that song. So I would work it up to there. And once I got them up to that boiling point, I would play the one slow song of the whole entire night. And I'd put it on. And then once I put it on, guess what? I was able to start all the way back from the bottom and go all the way back up. Now that's how I did it. But then you had some songs that were, the samples were so close that you could just mix it together and it go right into the next song. So it was like so many times you go and you hear it. I used to be able to listen to Mix Show. And because if it was Walter, for example, Walter came up through the skate ring and he came up through Bone Shakers. He came up, he used to sneak in the club, and me and Clarence would be like his older brothers. We would be teaching him, and he would watch us. But I could sit there and listen to his mix show. I knew what record was coming next. I knew it because I knew what I would grab and put in there because it would go just perfect.
Right.
And go just perfect. And if for long you knew everybody, you knew it was coming up. As for a DJ, you kind of ruined it for yourself. Yeah. You knew it was coming up. You knew it was just simple. It was
a scientific formula, man.
But it was more just if you did it every night, you just got a feeling. You knew what was the crowd was happening, and there'd be nights where you could play all the smash hits that were out at the time, and no one would get on the floor.
Man, I was just about to ask you, have you ever had an off night as a DJ? Like it ain't just working tonight.
No, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because there's always one thing. It's if you played the top 5 songs and no one hit the floor,
something ain't right.
All I would have to do is get on the microphone and say, the next 3 couples that get on the floor,
boom,
drinks on the house.
Oh yeah, then boom.
Boom.
We on it.
Got it.
We on it. We got it. So it was just bring them on there.
Wow.
And as the club owners would never say nothing to me because they knew I knew how to work the crowd. They knew I was going to get them all sweaty.
Right.
So they go to the bar and drink.
Right. Yeah.
So if I gave away 3 or 4 drinks, it was so what? Exactly. So what? You know, get them going, get them all coming to the bar and drinking. You know.
So I had a question. So I'm gonna go back to because you were speaking about your relationship with DJ Red, right? Red is right.
Red Alert.
Red Alert. Yeah. So back in them days, I heard a lot of stories where they were saying that the New York area was really kind of doing us dirty for the South region, not really respecting us to that point. But it seems like to you might have a good relationship, but did you experience any of that at all?
No, I experienced a lot of that.
Oh, okay.
Only DJ Red Alert was cool because he was a DJ,
Yeah.
and he had one of the first mix shows in New York where they actually let him mix rap.
Okay.
You know, as much rap as was out at the time, and he was cool. But no. We just like Jay alluded to at the anniversary, 50th year anniversary. They would look down at us at the South so much. Yeah. They would look down at me. Wow. I would go up to the new music seminar, and they would go, "Okay, well, here's our music. Where's y'all?
Right. Wow.
Where's your music?
Right.
What's wrong with you guys down there? They ain't got no music yet. Yeah. They ain't got no music yet." And so I remember, I couldn't wait when Jay first released his album, Grip It On the Other Level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
That's my favorite Ghetto Boys album.
What's your favorite?
I went up to New York with bags full of Rap-A-Lot product.
Right.
And when the first one came up to me, I go, here.
There you go.
Here. Right. Here. Right. You know? And now what? You know? Now and then Mind's Playing Trick and all that happened and then it was done. You know, but they still always kept us in our place. You know, they always kept us in. They looked at us as we were the bank. We were the bank.
Yeah, right.
Our money made them who they are
as consumers of their product.
As consumers of their product. They could sell in the Bronx or wherever. They might sell 150,000 units. You come to Houston, you would sell 600,000 units.
Yeah.
You know, and so we were their bank. They would love. Their artists would call me. When are you going to bring me to Houston?
Yeah.
When are you going to bring me to Houston? And there's 2 things they love when they come to Houston. They love to get paid, of course, but they love to go to Papados or Papacitos. They love to go to Papados. That's it. And the girls, the girls. They love to come here for that. So we were, you know, that's how they looked at us, like we were the bank. That they were just using us. You know, they were just using us to make their money, and so that's why it sounded offensive when I was asked, how can we make music like y'all?
Right.
You know, so we can give some of y'all's money too. Yeah. Well, y'all are getting all of our money now. You know, and so we were definitely supplying them and made their.
And you know why I'm bearing witness to everything you said, because I can remember as early as 84, 85, 86, the top artists in the rap game have always been coming down here to do. They had the Fresh Fest back in the mid 80s, where packed concerts from Run to LL to Houdini and all. You know, Houston has always been that area where people came and they ate. You know, they came and they ate money. You know,
they would. When we had the Rhinestone on the north side, we brought all kinds of acts. Oh my God, we brought all the major acts from NWA, everybody. We brought them all, and they all ate. My stuff, all my contracts, and a lot of my paperwork is at the University of Houston. It's archived in the archives there, so anybody can go see my contracts. You can see what I paid for these artists and where I signed on these contracts and what I paid for these artists. And people look at it and go, man, you only paid that? Well, back then that was a lot of money.
1986, 88, man.
You know, that was a lot of money then. And so, we definitely, but they always held us down. And I'll say this again. There was a very talented writer for Billboard magazine, a Grammy Award winning writer. His name's Nelson George.
Very familiar.
And
historian.
Historian. And Billboard sent him down to Houston, Texas, to do an interview on me. What is this guy doing in Houston, country ass Texas, as they used to like to call it?
Because we ride horses.
And what is he doing to make rap so popular and going crazy? And so he came down to the interview and spent a couple hours with me. And he came to the club that night and at the Rhinestone on the north side. And he stood in the DJ booth with utter amazement that we could play rap all night long. And people would pack the floor all night long. And we're talking about 1,800 people. And in New York, they get 800 or 900 people in the club because the clubs are so small. You know, he was just amazed. So, thinking that I was polite to him during the day, showed him a good time at night. He's seen it for himself. He was going to go back and write his article. In the article, all he said was, I met Steve Fournier. Or I finally met Steve Fournier. Stocky white guy, played rap in a barn.
Man, no, Nelson, no, you didn't do it.
They still got this article we can pull it up.
Yeah, it's
that's cold-blooded.
And
it's in Billboard.
It's in Billboard.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it.
And it's in the archives at the University of Houston. It's in the archives. But that's just to bring up the point that they always kept their foot on our neck. They would always keep us down. And he went back. And that just emphasized again. And then Jay went up there and they did him the same way. And they just kept pushing and pushing us down to where, all of a sudden Houston rose.
Man.
And all the rap artists started happening, and all their artists started not happening. And they weren't relevant. They weren't relevant anymore. And they, everybody. There's no one on the earth that doesn't give them credit for starting rap and hip hop. They did it, but they didn't treat us very well, or the rest of the country very well.
That's a great point, man. Because coming up in the time I came up, of course, that's all we had to listen to was New York artists. That's who influenced us. Great to this day, but we just was taken aback because we was like, hey, like Snoop Dogg, y'all don't know us. You know, we was like, man, but because we did start to get better at it and got to a point where we was like, oh no, man, we deserve some respect. Would you consider now Houston to be like the birthplace or the kings of the independent rap scene?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. Everything that Houston's got, y'all had to work for.
Yeah.
I had to work for it.
Yeah.
Jay had to work for it.
Right.
And we all had to work for it to make it happen. And so we do it the way we do it.
Yeah.
And that's, no one can take that from us.
Yeah.
And no one from New York or LA or Florida or Atlanta can come. We do it our way.
Right.
And there's a thing, you know, people look at it as a bad thing, but it's not meant to be a bad thing.
Yeah.
When a rapper comes into the city, he's expected to check in.
Yeah.
Check in.
Yeah.
We're not just Jay.
Yeah.
Check in with you. Check in with somebody. You got to show us our respect. When you come in our city, show somebody
And
that
I think
respect.
people take check in as just something negative, like we gonna whoop you if you don't check in.
No.
Don't even check in, just tap in if the check in sounds weird.
Yeah, tap in
Just tap
because
in
man,
with
look,
me.
that would be the same as if I go somewhere. If Steve moves to Pennsylvania or something, and I'm going out there, let me check in with Steve. He might tell me a good restaurant to go eat at.
Anything.
Checking in ain't always about your safety. You know, it could be, but to me that's a good thing because I want to know somebody. So I mean, I get the different angles of that, but at the end of the day,
It's just we do it our way, and just respect the way we do it, and we don't bother you no more.
Yeah.
We paid our dues, and did it the hard way,
Yeah.
and we made it.
Yeah.
So you know the rest of the country, unfortunately, we don't need you. I mean, you know, we've got what
I
we
used to
need.
say back in the days we used to chase them.
Yeah.
Then it flipped around. They started chasing us because when guys started selling 50,000 independent, 100,000 independent, the labels was like, "Hey, you want to sign with us now? We can take y'all and leave y'all. Now they shoot 25, 30 million. Yeah, okay, cool, but." That other stuff you was trying to slide back in '88 and nah, you got to do better than that.
You know what I always looked at so ironic? The major sound that transformed New York's sound came from a Houston person, DJ Fournier.
Right.
One of the major voices or the major construct that came from a breakout West Coast that gave West Coast their sound was penned from another brother from Texas.
Right.
That's was my boy from DOC, the Doc.
Oh yeah.
So you would say, okay, this is a major thing that came to shape West Coast sound, and a major thing that shaped the the East Coast sound, all from Texas.
We're talented. You know, the talent out of Houston has always been incredible, and I knew it. I knew it when we used to have the contest at Rhinestone Wrangler. We used to have the rap contest, and when he would come, the thing is, okay, Reno would rap.
Okay.
No one could beat him.
Yeah.
No one could beat him. That was it. But when it came to the ranking, he didn't like the rank.
I didn't do it on the north side because you know Willie, Romeo Poet.
Classy C.
Class C, all those guys. Yeah, on the south side, I was no whole buck. I was more familiar. On the north side, I was like, not so much.
So when the thing with the contest was, my whole thing was to bring the contest to make the guys get better, go against each other and get better. And my thing was, okay. They all wanted to be in the ranking contest, right? But I said, no, you got to sign up for the rap contest.
There you go.
If you sign up for the rap contest, we'll let you in the ranking contest.
Okay.
And so the people that were really into rap, like I was, or the people that were trying to rap they would love the rap contest. But the majority of the people would stay and miss work the next day for the ranking contest. Especially when Classy C. Classy C was such a big guy, and he was just he's just a funny guy, and he'd do some stuff, and he'd go, your mama would roller skate to the bus stop. He pull out some roller skates and put them out. And when Willie D said, how he came up with Ballhead Ho was he used to do something like that in the ranking contest.
Okay.
And he had in his pocket, he had a handful of rice. And he said, your hair is so short you can't even roll it with rice and do the rice on the stage.
Man,
they shut the club down. It shut the club down. It was like that was it.
I got one for you. I got a question for you. Cause K always, him and Willie D always say about this one particular person that was at the Rhinestone Wrangler that they always was like, what's he doing? And then it turns out to be Vanilla Ice. Were you there?
No. I was at the Palladium.
The Palladium
on the north side. I don't know if Steve. He opened up for us. Yeah. We didn't know who he was. White dude break dancing and it might have been 12 people there that night, and we saw him on TV like 2 or 3 months later, and like now it's doom 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 doom. It's like, man, who was this dude?
That was.
It was crazy.
The Palladium was before the Rhinestone Wrangler North Side. Okay? I was on the south side. Jack had Palladium with Big Steve on the north side. They brought in the acts, they brought in the Vanilla Ice and all that, and when Palladium closed was our opportunity to grab it and make it the Rhinestone Wrangler.
Wow.
Ooh,
and so we just continued on with the concerts because Palladium was bringing concerts like crazy. And something went down with that whole Palladium thing, like clubs do, and we grabbed it because I was familiar with the spot, and I said, let's get it, and when clubs first started. I won't go into this too deep, but when clubs first started, there was Charles Bush and Ray Barnett and a few club owners that were actually businessmen that actually had the clubs and earned their money and invested in clubs. And then there was people that inherited money and wanted a club, and they put their money into having a club. Back in the day, this is back in the day. Now I'm sure it's more money than this. But back in the day, for every 1,000 square feet, you would have to invest $10,000 to get your club up. Up. That's not commercials. That's not radio time. That's not, that was to build your club out and put a sound system in. So if you had a 10,000 square foot club, it'd be $100,000. Right. Just up front. Not the liquor license. That was separate. That was it was money.
Just infrastructure.
Yeah, money, right? And so the guys would, as years went on, the people that owned clubs were it just ended up being the biggest hustler in the street. Whoever had the money. And that's how it ended up. It got to the point to that those guys got out of the club business, and then the fast money guys were in it. And to them, that was pennies. It was nothing. It was nothing. They had the club just be able to boast throughout the city that they had a club. And for the girls,
Tell us what you're doing now, man, because we was talking off camera, and you said you hadn't been in the club since what, 04?
I have not been involved in the rap industry since 04, 05. Every now and then I'll get a call to consult a rap label or an artist or something, something that they could use my brain with what I have in it to help them. But now, I'm in it for not very much longer. As of 2006, I end up getting in the pool business.
Swimming pool.
I designed.
Look, he went from the record pool to the swimming pool.
It's all about pool.
Man.
He gonna go to pool.
Born to rock with the pools, man.
And so now I design and draw backyard pools and outdoor kitchens for men and women and families. And I've been doing that since then. And I don't have very much longer to do it. I've done it, and it's just a blessing. It was my second career that came along. Like I said, I met my wife at a club called the Underground.
Yeah, he was telling me.
32 years ago.
He loved that club.
32 years ago. And as my sons were born, and she told me that maybe that wasn't the business I should be. I just want to be around.
Yeah.
I want to be around for my sons and my daughter, and I wanted to be around. And so I just eventually just got out of it, and some things happened that I won't repeat. That I said off the mic, but things happened in the club business, and the people that owned it, that it was not very safe.
Yeah.
Bun B said this statement, and he used to say it all the time. He say, "In my business, I get my paycheck at 3 a.m. with pistols around."
Yeah.
That's the club business.
Yeah.
That's what it got to. It got to the fact that we brought an artist to the North Side Rhinestone Wrangler, and like most artists, which you well know, you get 50%
front end, back end,
and 50% before you hit the stage.
Yeah.
Well, this night it was the Rhinestone was packed, and it was hard. We had a problem getting people through, trying to get the money at the front door to go to the backstage and give the artist the other amount. And it was getting late. And so I said, man, you can see and you can know by my reputation in the rap industry, no one's ever going to say they ain't got paid. You're going to get paid. You can tell they're in line. We're just getting them through. I ain't going on.
Yeah.
I'm not going on until I get the rest of my money.
Right.
So about 30 minutes went by, and I go, man, come on, man, just get going.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your money, absolutely. We're just trying to get it through the door.
Right.
And he raised up his waist and showed me his gun, like
make me.
like I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So went to the front, got the money together.
Okay.
Brought him his stack of money and said, here's your money. And he goes, yeah, you better have given it to me. It's the last time I ever brought that artist to the city of Houston.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say who it was, but it was God blessed him. He's no longer with us.
Yeah.
But he got his, and that's how the business. How the business got. It got to be so. It was bad, and the good thing about the Rhinestone Wrangler on the North Side was that Chief and Rap-A-Lot was let's say involved.
Right.
Influenced.
Right.
The club.
So
that kept things a little more.
It kept
running a little smoothly.
Got things running a little smoother. And so
I don't come down here and strong or intimidate you.
Oh, bad news gonna beat you home.
So it was after a couple of times it was more. It was fine. It was fine, and the money was the money was good always.
I'm gonna ask you the last question before we let you go, Steve. Like, I know you fell in love with the genre of rap and just rap itself. Give me 3 of your favorite rap artists, guys, that you were playing their records, maybe mainstream now, whoever it is, and that you got a chance to actually meet, that in all your years is coming.
Well, all my
guy that you like man, I jam you, but I really like your stuff.
And it can't be K. Reno.
Oh no, I'm not putting myself there. Yeah.
I've met so many thousands of rappers over the years.
Right.
The artists that stick out in my mind are people that are truly still my friends to this day.
Yeah.
They're still my friends to this day.
Right.
Not only did I like them, but I like their music.
Yeah.
And one of them, I brought his name up a couple times, is Brad Scarface.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And he's still my friend to this day.
Yeah.
Willie D is still a friend to this day. After all those years when I watched him grow up in front of my eyes as a young man and grow up,
Anybody outside?
Yes. Chuck D.
Oh yeah.
Chuck D.
Yeah.
Because when he was moving it and he came to Houston, I'd always get him. We would always run the streets and make his stops and hellos and all that.
Right.
And he was a good guy.
Yeah.
He was a good guy.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, as much as people don't want to believe this, LL was a great guy.
Yeah. Oh, I can see it.
He was, but then take the other way. Luke.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to know Luke really well. He grew up, and we're almost probably a little older than him, but we're about the same age.
Yeah.
So people like that I've met,
Right.
that I could still call today,
Yeah.
and they still talk the same,
Right.
and money hasn't changed them,
Right.
and
That's a beautiful thing.
that's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
That it is in my lifetime. I've met people that are worth millions and millions of dollars,
Right.
and I met people that just I love because they the same way
Yeah,
they've been
man.
all their lives.
Yeah.
They the same.
Can't beat that.
They're the same guy. They're they provide for their kids and their wives. Their kids are gone now. It's just them and their wife, and they just still living the steady life.
Right.
And it's not. People can say what they want, but take it for somebody that's a little up on the age. It's not always about the money.
Yeah. No, that's right. That's a fact.
It's not. Your family and your health.
Yeah, come on.
Your health and your family is what it's about.
Come on,
and your family's going to be there through the thick and the thin.
Yeah.
And like I try to tell my sons and my daughter, that life is like a roller coaster.
Yeah, it is.
It's up and down. And when you're up on top of that hill, you know what's coming.
Right.
You know it's coming down.
Yeah.
And when you're at the bottom, you know God's going to bless you.
Bring it back.
It's going to bring you back up.
No doubt.
Ain't too many people out there in the world that life is just always getting better.
It's impossible, man.
It's impossible, It's not like that. No matter if you make millions, you lose millions.
Fact.
It's fact.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I'll say this before I go, I remember having this conversation with somebody. They were talking about Jay and rap a lot.
Okay.
And Jay says it in his book and he says it in his interviews that he did rap because he thought he knew it was going to be the new drug game. He knew that was going to be the hustle. Then he made it in the rap industry, and he was, what's next? Then he went to the boxing.
Right.
Because that was next. And I remember having a conversation with him. I had a conversation with him, I think it was over the phone. And I said, man, so you got into the boxing business. And he goes, Steve, I can make more money in one fight than I can in years with one of my artists. So everybody, when you think they don't have nowhere to go, there's always another level. You know, you gotta learn. But
diversify your hustle.
Diversify your hustle. That's it.
Steve
and
Fournier,
I have.
Man, without a doubt, man. And we definitely appreciate the wealth of knowledge that you have blessed us with, man. Just the history, man. And like I said again, just to thank you for all the stuff that you've done for me and my crew personally. You know, because I first record I ever got played on the radio was on KTSU Kids Jam. First time my record ever got played in the club. This man right here, man. Straight up, man. Steve Fournier, you got any social media thing that you want to direct
No.
to? It just is what it is.
I'm just fine.
I
Just like Prime said, I'm not hard to find.
No doubt about it.
They put my name in there. It's in there. So they find me. They always
no
find
question
me.
about
We
it.
appreciate your contribution to the city as well.
Man, without a doubt,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Without a doubt, man.
Thanks you
Steve
for having me.
Hey, man, thank you
you
for coming through, Steve, man. Underground Dialogue Podcast, your big brother K. Reno.
And your boy Keith Stowe.
Man, thank you for the love, man. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Got the dough.
What's up, man? It's your big brother K. Reno. And check this out, man. The Underground Dialogue Podcast is offering advertising opportunities, man. You can promote your business, you can promote your video, your song, whatever it is that you have, man. Reach out to us if you're interested in promoting on the Underground Dialogue Podcast. All you got to do is email us at undergrounddialoguepodcast@gmail.com. Get it. And man, look, we got some merch that's gonna blow y'all mind. It's gonna blow y'all. When y'all see the merch, y'all gonna be wanting to just dive through the screen.
We got some coming for you, man. We building, man. We building. So watch that as we grow.
Already.
I wonder if they ready. They ain't ready to have this conversation. Or these kind of conversations. But guess what? We gonna have them anyway. Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deprogram the old you, and you get to keep your soul too.